Ask Reddit by Nicolette Ftyhu. Men of Reddit, what made you realize your girlfriend crush wasn't the one for you? I was happier when I wasn't with her. This was my realization. There were several things that when I looked back on, I should have known it was over. But one of the big ones was that I was often looking for reasons to not come home. The biggest was a moment that revealed just how little self-awareness she had. It opened up the notion that none of it mattered because she had no self-awareness. But wanting to not come home was high on the list. Drugs. I quit. She didn't. Good for you. I'm proud of you. Every day I fear seeing her because I knew it meant another argument. To add to this, I had the most stress-free week when she was gone on a trip. Really put into perspective how much stress she added to my life. Sure, every couple has stresses, but this was night and day. Everything went without a hitch that week. Home was so calm. I broke it off a week after her return. I saw how she lived and realized I couldn't live with that. Litter box? No streets on the bed? How bad are we talking? That one time when she gave my ring back and married another guy. You win. When she put her friend's dick in her mouth. OMG, stop, he's like a brother to me, gawk gawk gawk. I found her criminal history after I searched her name on Google. I found the mugshot of a guy I was supposed to meet for a date. Using only what I knew, no last name, I found his sex offender registry on a child under 14. I broke off with a girl because we'd be out on a date and she'd repeatedly bring up how this other guy had promised to wait for her forever. There was me, trying to do my best to get to know her. Meantime, she's throwing that at me. It's like she was enjoying the competition in her head. So I walked. She sounds like a very manipulative individual if she was enjoying keeping a guy friend zoned forever whilst dating other guys. You definitely dodged a bullet. Deleted. Feeling this RN with my partner NGL. She was emotionally abusive. I had recently lost my wife to cancer and was happy to receive a small portion of what I lost. Nothing's perfect obviously, but it came with the cost of giving up much of my self-respect. Don't want that again. What a shitty person she is. I'm so sorry that happened to you. Deleted. What a heavy moment it is when you realize that too. There's no way out that isn't going to be somewhat painful. I still love my ex but just knew one day that our core values ideologies will never align and had to end to it. Ouch. Not sounding like an asshole, but I had to break it off with a girl because I wasn't feeling what she was feeling. I was respectful and honest. Of course she didn't like it, but if it was the other way around I would like to be told the truth than a lie. I wish the guy I was talking to did this instead of stringing me along and suddenly wanting me just as a friend, even though he knew I liked him more than he liked me. It is better if it's sooner. You did the right thing for both of you. When she told me she was into my brother. She's confident, independent, and smart, but she tends to be critical and rude to waitresses. For me, that's a deal breaker. Confident, independent, and smart. But no kindness. Being a kind person is the most important thing. I was about 2 sentences away from asking a woman out. I'm fairly confident I stood a decent chance of at least getting a date. Then she started thrashing Weird Al. I love Weird Al, but if he's not someone's cup of tea that's fine. But she was over the top bashing him like he was genuinely evil. It started several chains of events in my head of us dating and it not working badly in every single one. So I kept my mouth shut. Trashing Weird Al would be a deal breaker for me. She would talk about my friends' bodies and ask me to ask my friend to hang out with her. I felt sick and used after. It hurt a lot. Confidence has never been the same since, and I've never had such a strong crush since. That can really do a number on you. If you haven't done so yet, please consider going to see a therapist to process this. You deserve to have confidence in who you are. I'd asked her out a few times, and she said she was interested but always had a plausible reason why we had to put it off. Busy with work, not feeling good, etc. Then I see on social media that she's out at a club partying with a group of friends. Okay, point taken. She didn't mean not right now, she meant not with me. She could have had the character to tell you, bullet dodge bruv. When she participated in extracurricular dick riding, giving magna cum laude a whole new meaning. When she told me I love you and I couldn't in good conscience lie and say it back. I've been on the other end of this. I can't speak for her, but I can speak for myself. Sometimes when someone says I love you, it's not with the expectation that it will be said back, but simply because we want them to know. I had a crush on this girl and we had practice for this high school activity we were in together. She downed 4 Monster energy drinks in the 2-hour practice and I was like, nah. Okay, so energy drinks no. I'll note that, haha. Met someone else and it was so much easier and better with her. Realized I was torturing myself for no good reason. To clarify, she was a crush, not someone I was actually dating. Oh okay, well I hope everything's better now with your new girl. I tried to ask her to hang out and she told me she had a BF, so I apologized and walked away. She said it was no big deal, then 10 minutes later I hear her within a earshot gossiping to her friends, hey guess what blah blah blah, then they all look at me with a shit grin. This was after she followed me, dropped every conceivable sign, and stared at me every day. I had no idea she was such a mean bitch, like WTF to try to embarrass me like that. That was some vile shit. Some people just want attention. Never underestimate a normal appearing person's capacity for cruelty and senseless stupidity. The first time I was meeting her mom, she was calling her stupid and an idiot. Her mom had simply asked what we were going to do that evening, and she went in on her. It was so unattractive to me. I don't care to spend a ton of time with my mom, but like, talking back to her? Off some conversation filler? Nah. Imagine what she'd have done to me in an argument. Good call. When I finally realized she was a manipulative, selfish, arrogant and entitled little brat. I saw this from the beginning kinda, but those damn rose-colored glasses. I'll never give the best of myself to someone who doesn't reciprocate back. I feel you. Being manipulative is not a good quality for anyone to possess. Especially those who you try to be vulnerable and honest with. I had a crush on this girl in 6th grade. I thought she was so pretty, and loved hanging out with her in class. Eventually I worked up the courage to do the whole I like you, do you like me note passing thing, and got politely shut down. Not long after that was when I realized that I was gay. I know that sounds like a tragic origin story, but it's the truth. And I find it quite funny in retrospect. The rejection didn't turn me or anything. I came to understand that you can find someone beautiful and interesting in a completely platonic way. And the whole time I was getting to know this girl, and even before, I was having complicated and unmentionable thoughts about various guys. At some point the light bulb went off. Those weird feelings I didn't dare try to explain to anyone were what actual attraction is.